consoles. The PlayStation 5 is coming out and the Xbox Series X.
Oh yeah, I'll take it down that tech route. I'm psyched. They both look badass, but
I haven't seen the Xbox on it. Let me see if I can look it up real quick.
it's basically a computer, man, like a super gaming computer. The thing that's crazy though is that right now the pitch is like PlayStation's going to stay the traditional way that we've experienced video games, where
Is it
it's
this thing right
like,
here? This little huge ass box thing right here?
yeah, the little refrigerator looking thing.
This right here?
Yeah,
Damn, that's
that's it.
huge. Just you're right. It's like a little mini computer, like a portable
Yeah,
computer.
that's basically what it is. But what I was saying was that like the PlayStation's going to stay the traditional route where they have like their companies that make their games, and it's just like, you buy one game at a time and then you play it, and it's what we already know. But the Xbox is going full on Netflix with video games. They're giving you the Xbox Pass. You sign up. They can even, dude, you can even buy that thing from Microsoft. It's an official deal from them at like $50 a month or something like that. It will give you the console and it will give you their subscription.
All they have,
And you just pay that
all they have
until
to do
you
is
eventually pay it off.
all they have to do is make
Wow.
sure they drop at least one hard ass game a month.
See, that's the problem though with
'Cause if you
Xbox.
get 7
PlayStation
good
has
games-
the games.
You get 7 good games. That's 5 months of $50 that you ain't want.
Well, actually, I'm biased because there's just 2 specific games that PlayStation has that I love,
God of War.
and Demon Souls.
See, that's literally PlayStation's angle, though. They're like, yo, we got the games that you like, those games that you can't get nowhere else.
It's the only
That's
reason
what we
why
got.
I would ever buy a PlayStation 5 is because I want to play the new God of War coming out they announced and the new Demon Souls, the remastered one, or remake. Like,
Demon Souls got me salty, though, because it's like, I'm about it. And when I saw the trailer, it said also on PC, but I just learned today that it's actually not coming to PC. It's only going to be on the PS5 on release, too. So, like, they're pushing it so they can get people to buy it in
yeah,
November.
they're pushing sales.
And I was like, damn, that's actually like turned me off from the sale, and now I'm actually thinking about getting one because of that fucking game.
One thing that bugs me also is I remember you telling me that there's 2 different types of PlayStations. There's the one with an actual I forgot.
They're
Digital.
both doing that, man.
Digital.
They're both
they're
doing
both
that.
doing it.
Yeah, it's a new way.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't mind it.
I kind of don't mind
If
it
the
either.
price is cheaper, I don't mind it.
Yeah,
But it's not-
for
well,
sure.
It is cheaper. The digital one is
It
cheaper.
is.
Okay, never mind. I was talking about the one with the disc.
The PlayStation, I
Which
think,
makes
is like
sense why it's more
$100 cheaper,
expensive.
and I even think the like Xbox one is like $200 cheaper, man. It's a lot cheaper. But Xbox makes more sense though with what they're trying to do. So they're not trying to push the console and their games per se. They're trying to push the subscription on you, man. So they're willing to give you something for like $300 that's just a little stream box to get on that stream like subscription, because that's where they're going to make the money
They're
from.
shifting their sale. Okay, they're shifting where they're trying to make their money from.
Exactly.
Okay. That's
And-
actually genius.
They even offer that thing to PC users. You can play that subscription on your phone, on your tablets. Like,
Wow.
they're pushing the subscription. This thing at this point, it's just a box. It's a
Guaranteed
stream.
money.
And
Yeah.
if you think about it, the price difference, right?
How much is
It's
the
$100
PlayStation
or
and Xbox?
$200 difference from what they would normally release the price as, right? So it would normally be like $5.99 if I recall, or $4.99 around there, right?
Okay.
So now let's say I've seen $3.99.
Jeez.
So okay, so that's like $200.
Might as well build a PC.
But I'm saying if you're talking about $200, so let's say $100 difference, $4.99 and $3.99. It's 2 months of the subscription. So they're like, okay, we'll just give them 2 months. That's their trade-off. You're not gonna trip. And then at the very least, if you want to cancel it, most people will forget at least 1 month and pay it 1 extra month than they need to.
That's true, bro. I freaking forgot 6 months of a subscription on something I never even used anymore.
Telling you, like, yo, what the fuck?
Well, I've been paying for
Shit
that.
happens a lot, I bet.
What? The crazy thing too with the Xbox, man, is that Microsoft realized it has money, man. They realized all of a sudden they were like, you know what, we got bank, because everyone was saying, oh, well, you don't have the games, you don't have the exclusives, and then Microsoft said, we don't, we get it, but we got money, so we're gonna buy all the new studios that are making the new best games. Like, they just bought Bethesda, so Doom, Morrowind, like those Oblivion, what are those games called? The
Talking about
Elder Scroll games?
okay.
Is that what they are?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like that is now their private thing, like their private title and intellectual property. So now they have exclusives. Before, if you're gonna play Fallout and you're gonna play the Morrowind games, like you had to pick your choice for anything you got. But now they're exclusively on Xbox, and they're going to decide whether or not they distribute them to other consoles and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy though because they bought all these studios, and it's funny because they're starting to do exactly what we were talking about in the music industry, but now they're doing it to video game studios. Because essentially, whenever Microsoft buys a studio, their games go up on the subscription regardless. And so now those companies are kind of enslaved. Whereas the independent companies that are making products, they're approached by Microsoft. The contract says, hey, here is this game. We'll give you $50,000 upfront for a year. Within that year, you cannot stream it on another service. You can still offer it for sale on Steam or whatever other platform as a whole product purchase, but it won't technically be streamed. So you'll only be streaming it on our service for this allotted amount of time. And then from there, we can renegotiate the contract or we can do whatever else we need to do. And so a lot of companies are buying into it. And so that's how come they have this cycle where they have licenses, just like on Netflix, for a certain amount of time, and then eventually the movies or the games go away.
I'm honestly not sure how to feel about all this just because of the fact that I just don't play games on my console anymore like that. Like, you're the only one who uses my Xbox to play 2K. That's why
It's definitely different, man.
I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if it's a good thing, if
I'm
it's a
kind of
bad
worried
thing.
that
Okay, so what happens
this
with
new
MMORPGs?
cycle-
It's different
though?
for sure.
But that's the thing, though.
Does
Like
that-
those
does that
companies are
subscription-
probably gonna. I think that's gonna have to depend, man. Like, it depends on what the company wants to do because they're gonna have their own subscription. We've already seen a battle between Fortnite and Apple and what happens with in-game money. So if you don't know, Fortnite was on Apple's App Store, but Apple's really, really tight with how money moves on their platform. So they told Epic Games, okay, you can have it there and you can buy all the in-game money with real money, but in order to do that, you have to buy it through these select entry points on the platform. Now, those entry points made it to where Apple got 30% of that purchase. So what Epic Games did was they decided to make a shortcut in the game that let them buy money in the game so that that 30% didn't go to Apple and went straight into their pockets. And then Apple caught wind of it and was like, "No, man, you can't do that. Hell no. You're going to spend your money the way we tell you to spend the money in the game if you're going to put it on our platform." And then that started the whole like, we're taking a Fortnite off of Apple, and then they accused them of like abusing their power and stuff like that. And there's been a lawsuit for the past like 2 months about it.
Greed, corporate greed.
For real, corporate greed in video games, man. I'm just kind of scared about the whole studios inside the house of Microsoft because much like the whole Masters talk we just had, all of those studios are losing the Masters to all of those games. The moment they come in under that umbrella, it's like, you are our slaves. We will put up your game for free on our products and our subscriptions, and they will live there forever. And any extra money that is made off of this is going directly into Microsoft's profit.
So it's going to have to be a Netflix type thing where they purchase it from the studio, or at least the license from the studio.
Yeah. The difference is, though, that, like, actually, I don't even know. Does Netflix have in-house studios?
Yeah, they do, because they have Netflix originals.
Because they do the Netflix originals, right?
Yeah.
Damn, that's the wave, man. That's what everybody's going to do then.
So Microsoft would be like, but so how do you quantify how much you pay for a video game? That means the studios would be in charge of creating buzz for their own video game. And then that buzz would have to be the like the number, like how do you get what I'm saying? It would have to, now there has to be a whole nother thing to broker that contract. What I'm saying is it either has to be based on the studio itself, whereas, oh, we know you're a reputable studio, we'll pay you this amount for your video games. Because there's no way for you to know if the game is a hit or a bust. Now, if you're an up-and-coming studio or a new studio, you have to garner hype or buzz or clout for your game. So now you have to put it out for free. But what platform do you put it out for free on? Because that's what I'm thinking now. Do you, like, if you put it out for free, then how do you go back and charge for it? It'd have to be an in-game charge. You're eliminating a lot by doing that. Like, the studios themselves literally have to hype up their game. But I just don't get how they reach an agreement with Microsoft on how much they get to charge. You know what I'm saying?
Because to get the most money, they have to make sure it's a guaranteed.
But you can't tell
But
that.
you can't, yeah.
Pre-subscriptions?
You can't do like a pre-order kind of thing, can you? Because that would be a good way to
What?
tell, but
That's
you can't
what I'm
even do
thinking.
something like that with
You can't even do
this.
a pre-order thing because it's a subscription thing.
Yeah, you really can't. You're gonna have to base it off hype and the way that Microsoft
That's
decides
risky.
to negotiate. Because
Exactly.
my example was that, like, if I have like a 10-man team, right, and we make a game for 40K, Microsoft comes up to me and says, "Hey, we want your game for 3 years on our platform." That's a little harsh, man. 3 years. I'm like, dude. Okay, but nobody knows who we are. And then they go, "We'll give you 50K." And I'm like, shit, I'll come up 10. I'll be able to pay off the staff, so I'll have no other issues with all of that stuff. And I'll be up 10. We can put that in the treasury for the company, and we have a game in the portfolio now. I might take that deal and then give it to them for 3 years. And then as the game's going on, because you can still sell it on separate platforms. You can't stream it. The stream rights are exclusive.
Okay, so my problem is, what if that's your best game you ever create?
That's the roll of the dice, though. That's exactly it. If it's the best game I've ever created, like Among Us, that, you know what I mean, or like the new hit that like just came out, that's probably made off of like $500, but is worth millions now. If it's the best game you ever created, you're fucked, man, because it's all free on stream as long as they're a part of that subscription. What you would hope is that people like it enough that even though they're able to stream it, they'll just buy it outright and you'll still make cash. The other thing, though, that like some studios have said that have already tried this is that they put it up there, people really enjoy it, they really like playing it, license ends, people get upset that it's no longer up, and then they just go and buy it. And they basically got a 6-month free trial, and they love the game so much that they're willing to spend money and to keep it.
Okay, that makes sense, but
It's kind of
the thing
optimistic.
the thing to me is like, okay, so if we're talking about Netflix, right? They gave Dave Chappelle some like $50 million for like 2 or 3 specials, right? They gave that to him based off of him being Dave Chappelle.
The name,
That's his name.
the recognition, all that stuff. Yep.
And that number, there's no math behind it. Not real, sincere math. It's a roundabout way. You can say, oh, he had this many C2 selling out this many people, or his Dave Chappelle old show had this many, his stand-up does this amount of views, blah, 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 blah. But you're really putting it off of the name and his hype. Okay? So my problem with that is, like, you have to sacrifice a whole game now. And then what if your first one isn't good, your second one's good? Your first one isn't that good, but your second one's amazing. Now you signed the 50K, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now your second deal's for 35. You feel lucky to have it. But that's your best game. Like, it's too much leverage on the side of the platform.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Way too much. Like,
That's where, man, that's crazy, because that's probably what's going to lead a lot of companies to having like a social media manager from the get-go, like someone who can just garner clout so that they can at least get investment.
So you know who
That's
wins?
what they're doing now, though.
So you know who
It's already
wins?
happening, I feel like.
You know who wins?
What?
The person, their innovation is going to knock them out the game. And this is what I'm going to say. PlayStation 5, PlayStation and Xbox are going to continue doing what they're doing, and they're going to knock studios out. They're going to make studios
Obsoleters are talking about?
technically. Then they're going to start building their own games or just getting studio staff from other studios and bringing them here. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying soon, like the future is going to be like Microsoft and PlayStation making their own game.
Exactly. But here's the trick.
And no more
anything like that creates a counterculture. So the counterculture would be create a system that just handles multiple subscriptions.
Ooh.
So now you don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it can handle studio.
Got the A-Box.
Capcom. It can handle
Nintendo.
Square Enix. It can handle, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And boom. Now you have leverage as that person who creates that box to go to PlayStation and Xbox and say, I'll leverage your games on mine. They're getting rid of the system by doing this. The system doesn't matter. Now it's just a box. It's a computer. So now you're getting rid of the system by doing that. Now you've lost leverage on a whole way that you didn't think. So now I'm going to take over.
Well, in that regard, wouldn't people switch to PCs then?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What's kind of happening, man. John's catching on.
The subscription service wouldn't need to be any system based. Now these studios wouldn't be making stuff that's encrypted for PlayStation. It wouldn't be making stuff encrypted for Xbox. Just be making the shit.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you have it on a sustainable whatever box or platform thing that you want to put it on. It can read this graphics, Sure, it'll be grassroots or whatever. But sure. Now you can get Last of Us. Now you can get these up-and-coming games. Now you're the first one. Now you're the gatekeeper. Now bigger Xbox and PlayStation, they don't even get a bite at the apple until you've eaten.
Yeah. That's the PC way, man.
And
PC
we'll
way
end
of
up
life,
with PC.
man.
Like
these companies are betting, though, that people don't want to spend the money to enter that ecosystem or the time to learn how to build it themselves and stuff like that. And they're just
it's not that hard, though. It is an investment, but it's not that hard.
What they're doing is giving people the motivation to do it. And what I'm saying is the people who are going to do it, you're saying, okay, you guys want to make games? We'll make consoles. It's going to be a game maker. It's going to be a collection of studios coming together and say, fuck you guys.
I mean, to simplify what you're saying is they don't realize the ripple effect that they just created.
Exactly. They think they're making a low-key monopoly move. But the space that they're going to create, they're not going to be able to get to because they're going to be too big. It's, for example, like music. A lot of times, the label's the last one to catch on. The person normally has a hit song before the label catches them. They just go sign the bad deal based off that one hit song.
They need something guaranteed. They don't really like taking risks, I feel like.
Exactly. That's what the studio would be saying when they're negotiating with the studio.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what Sony would be saying negotiating with the studio.
Mm-hmm.
We can't take a risk on you guys. We don't know if this game's going to be a bust, so you have to take this deal. Now, you don't got to take that deal.
Yeah, because I feel like that would be the shittiest spot to be in as a studio, to be like, dude, I took out so and such loans. I need to take this deal, if not just to pay the staff. And then, like, if I'm going to go under after this game, like, at least everyone's paid off, and then I'm good. And that would be a shitty spot to be in, man, because then that means you're not going to make the next game.
Exactly.
Yo, so thanks for watching a clip of FDT. If you like what you heard, be sure to subscribe, like the clip, leave a comment, and check out our page for more content. Tune into full episodes of FDT, released every Friday on Podbean, iTunes, and Spotify. Peace.